You went from not wanting to be a sales guy,
Yes.
and within a year you're an SE. What like what was that process? It sounds like, oh yeah, it just happened, but I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a journey there.
Yeah, there is, and I think I always say it that way because it's kind of like it was on the one hand there was a bit of a journey, but also it kind of just happened, not overnight, right? But it happened in a very short space of time. So as I mentioned, there was my director at the time, great guy. I still work with him actually now in a different kind of capacity, but he came in, and at the time the team we did pre and post sales. So you would sell and you'd implement. It was quite sort of transactional selling. It wasn't really very value based. It was much more we would turn up as an SE, you do a demo, and then the sales guy would close out the opportunity. He was saying to me, look, I want you to give pre-sales a try. I think you'd be really good at it. And there's an opportunity here because I'm actually going to split the team. We're going to have a dedicated post-sales team and a dedicated pre-sales team. And you really need to give pre-sales a try before you just completely write it off. And I was like, okay, let's kind of see what this is all about. And I can tell you, I remember being in a room, that kind of moment when the scales kind of fell from my eyes, and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, this isn't selling in what you think it like. I think of Gil from The Simpsons whenever like people talk about a traditional sales guy, like he's desperate to get that deal and stuff. And I would even say right now, like enterprise selling, that isn't even what sales guys do. But that was my prejudice, my perception of sales. But getting in and being like, oh, no, my job here is to clearly understand what the product does, be able to show how it works. And I was like, this overlaps with what I'm already doing. And I know that like you've had, guests before that are like, I kind of end up doing pre-sales kind of by accident and not knowing I'm in pre-sales. And I'm realizing, oh, actually, this is all the stuff that I like doing. And that's kind of what kind of put me on that path. And I spent a bit of time going, right, let's give consulting a try. And I did a couple of projects and they went well. But honestly, I just didn't have the attention span to stick with them. And I found in pre-sales, I was like, hey, you know what? I can kind of get into this. It's a much quicker engagement. It's much more reactive. Sure, there are some deals that kind of might feel like they drag on a lot, but the feedback is a lot quicker than in a kind of consulting world.
So what do you say consulting? What is that? Because a lot of SEs are called solution consultants. So I just want to differentiate.
Post sales implementation.
Okay. So within your company, post sales implementation and consulting are kind of synonymous.
Yes, yeah. I'm a solution architect, and then we have solution engineers is the kind of role that we call that. We've called it it's been a mixture of post sales and delivery teams.
Okay.
But when I talk about that, that's the team that goes in and actually implements the solution that's been sold.
Yeah, whatever the sales team sold. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, if I understand correctly, you trusted your director, and you just gave it a shot.
Yeah.
And through giving it a shot, you figured out like, actually, this is something I enjoy, and I've done it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And he got to a point where he said, you need to now make a decision. And that was so this was all kind of that journey I mentioned, was the acquisition happened in March of 2018. The conversation about I'm not a sales guy was in May.
Yep.
By October, which felt like a long time, but really wasn't, he had me on site shadowing him doing pre-sales, going, this is what pre-sales is like. And then when we got to December, he said, well, next year is when the team's going to split. And there's going to be an opportunity probably in around sort of March, April time, end of Q1, start of Q2, to go full-time in pre-sales. And you need to make a decision what route you're going to take. And I think he was like, you could come back if you want to, but you need to make a decision now. And that's when I was like, okay.
It's amazing to have such a leader, right?
Yeah.
On the team.
Yeah.
I mean, he saw something in you and he pushed you, and he didn't take, he would have taken no for an answer, but I feel like he saw that you don't fully understand what it means to be a a sales engineer or solution engineer, architect.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I actually want to meet that person now.
Yeah. I said to him, he's become a good friend of mine, and I kind of, without being hyperbolic, I owe my career to him, really. I think to those conversations, to that persistence of being like, no, seriously, give it a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then you get that.
I have I didn't have that, but I have like I had a manager that I feel similar about him than you do. So, and it's always nice to have that one person that we feel like, all right, you know what, they did something for us, and makes me want to do something for somebody else as well, which is amazing.